Hello and welcome everyone, Stormy Sensei here. It's been a while since we've done some Star Rail, but we're back. There was a thunderstorm that cut out the power, so I had to I was probably gonna have to download. It didn't download overnight, probably because of the thunderstorm. So we got a little bit of waiting to do. How's everyone doing? Hello there, the Bridget. This is for the new update version with Finon. The 3.4 banner. Pretty important stuff. The end of the Amphoreus arc, I think. Doing some animations, nice. Well, let me get Streamlabs chatbot up and going. I am loving the leaderboards that YouTube has been adding to various chats. Seems like they've been kind of rolling it out to different channels. I'm glad that I was actually included in the rollout. Basically, you chat and then I don't know exactly how decides who gets points when. It seems like messages per hour is the metric for it, but you at some random interval get points and then you appear on the leaderboard. And you can actually rewatch this. If you rewatch the live stream after the fact, then you actually get to see who was the top chatter for that stream. But it's a little uninteresting because it's like the top, you only get 75 points per hour. So everyone just ends up being tied all the time, which is not very interesting. I guess if I were to stream longer, or if people were to stream longer than, 1 or 2 hours, it would be more interesting. So I guess since I have 15 minutes of just sitting around and waiting, I will talk about the upcoming banners. So we have a very, very big banner this patch. We've got Finon, the newest DPS, but who cares? We have the 3 premier supports. We have 2 premier supports and Sparkle. We got Tribbie on the banner, and we have Sunday on the banner. Sunday and Tribbie are like the 2 best supports right now. And it's kind of crazy for them both to be on the banner at the same time. At the same time, there's a promotion going on where if you pull 200 times, then you get a free Archer Light Cone from the Fate collab. Sparkle's the further from for your support as you can be. Yeah, welcome in, Zika. But I remember when Sparkle first came out, because there were no limited supports for a while, right? And then Ron May came out, and everyone was like, whoa, Ron May, she's gonna be so busted, she's so good. Imagine Bronya, but she's better than Bronya. That's crazy, right? She increases speed and damage and res pin and everything. Weakness break efficiency. Even before Super Break, she was already really good. And then when Sparkle came out, and they were like, guys, your Jing Yuan, you're finally going to be able to use him. Sparkle is the best teammate for Jing Yuan. It's going to be so great. Sparkle's going to be the best character for Dan Heng IL. This character's so busted. She's basically just Bronya, but even better than Bronya. Can you believe it? I skipped Sparkle first time around because I started in 3.4. Not 3. I started in 1.4, so I actually missed the initial Jing Yuan banner. So when Sparkle came around, I actually pulled for Jing Yuan instead of for Sparkle, and he was kind of benched for a while until Sunday came around, and now he's basically my main character. Sparkle literally gets outperformed by Bronya, yeah. I've just been doing experience stuff. Want to fulfill my dreams doing YouTube. Just don't know what route to take. Just upload random stuff. Uh, you could, I mean, you can just upload whatever you want, and at any point in time, you can decide to just make a new channel and have a focus be on that, or you can start off making multiple channels and upload specific things to each one. Like you could have like a podcast channel, a drawing channel, a animation channel, a video games channel, a video game discussion channel. I personally don't think that that's worth doing, especially when you're small. You should just kind of pool all of your viewers into one place. But also, you might not want to take YouTube advice from me because I've been at this for almost 10 years and only have like 1,000 subs. I actually have no idea how many subs I have, which also should tell you something about me as a content creator. But there are people that do that. Like if you think about like really successful big YouTubers like Matt Pat, who did game theory, film theory, like all the different channels. So if you aren't interested in video games, you don't randomly see video game pop-ups in your notifications. That's the main reason, because like there's this perception that if you, well, it's not really just perception, it's real. So if you upload videos and people look at them, then YouTube notices and says, okay, well, this person's uploads are actually important, so let's publish them elsewhere. But if you upload videos and then people watch maybe the first 1 minute of it and then click off, or if they don't even click on it at all, even though they see it on their screen, YouTube remembers that, and then they say, okay, this person's videos don't get much traction. We don't have to worry about sending them elsewhere. Really the best thing is just to be consistent. Just do daily stuff or monthly or weekly or whatever. Because if you get a schedule going and people kind of show up at the designated time to watch your things, then if you have like 3 people watching every day, that's basically as important as having like, 100 people once a month. I mean, it's actually literally as important as that. Yeah, I don't know. I never really took YouTube seriously on purpose because I didn't want it to become a job, I already have a job. And I didn't want to, like, after a long day of work, come back and worry about YouTube. So I intentionally kind of handicapped myself into not doing typical YouTube things. Like, I never really promote my channel, or I don't make like highlights of the content mostly, or I don't do the face cam, don't do the social media. Kind of want to turn into a job. Yeah, I think that there's going to be a limitation to how much advice you take from me, because I kind of observe what other people do in order to be successful, but I also don't really put a lot of stake into actually doing those things. And a lot of the advice that I'm going to give you is going to kind of go contrary to what the successful people do. I put it all in the description, Zika. I'm going to go for Sunday S1 first, and then Sunday E1. I'm kind of waffling between the two, because like I really could pull Sunday E1 first, and it would be fine. I'm currently using Bronya's light cone, and it's fine, but it's just like barely not SP positive, and it's like I can make it work, but like I really don't want to. I want it to be easy, So I'm going to pull S1 for convenience first, and then I'm going to run E1 for power, because he's mostly paired with Jing Yuan. So 40% defense ignore on Lightning Lord, 10 stacks every single turn. because I'm running like a -1. It's not really -1. It's -6 because my relics aren't up to snuff. But I'm running a -6 speed Sunday with Jing Yuan right now. And since I only plan on pulling 200 times total, I'm probably not going to be able to get both S1 and E1. But if I do get both S1 and E1, then we move on to Tribbie and try for E1 Tribbie. I really want Sunday and Tribbie E1s, but current budget says no. Are you going to try to pull 200 times this patch, or are you going to forgo the light cone, or are you going to pull on the light cone itself, or are you skipping both of these for the next patch? Like, let me know, what are your pull plans? Good luck. Yeah, the weird thing about this update is, like, normally when I do a pull stream, I like have my savings and I'm hoping that I get it early so that I can stop pulling and save it for the next banners. But I'm pulling 200 times because we're gonna get Archer for free. May as well use him. And also I was kind of planning on getting Archer's Light Cone anyway because it's a direct upgrade to Herta Store Light Cone. Eventually, kinda. Because like the Herta Store Light Cone has the exact same stats as the Archer Light Cone, except the damage or the attack bonus stacks up over time, so it takes 5 attacks for it to finally ramp up, but then you have that forever, as opposed to you have to get a kill and then it lasts for 2 turns for the Herta Store Light Cone. I'm also assuming that the base stats, like I'm gonna get more attack stat in the 5-star. I'm pretty sure. I could look it up, I'm not going to. I want the E1s, but I also want E0S1 Saber and E0S1 Silverwolf. Is Silverwolf on the next half of the batch? Or is she on the next batch of banners? And then I also want Siridra and Cyrene. Yeah. I want E0, S0 Hysolins. And that's mostly it. Like, there's no way that I'm not even going to, like, imagine being able to get, you know, E0 S1 Hysolins. Because I'm spending literally all of my pulls right now. Oh yeah, I forgot to finish that thought. Like, I'm spending 200 pulls no matter what. So, like, it doesn't matter how early things come. I'm going to go to 0 by the end of the stream, which is crazy. I haven't been at 0 pulls since Fei Xiao ran for the first time, I think. Yeah. I got Fei Xiao in the very last 10 pull that I could afford. And I even had to, like, get achievements in order to get enough for that last 10 pull. Well, I'm an odd one when it comes to Hysolins, or it really is all the characters, right? So I chose to get Cypher when the Amphoreus trailer first came out before 3.0, and she like zipped around the screen. I love fast characters. So like Zila, Fei Xiao, Cypher, I have all of them. And then I chose to get Hysolins when the next Amphoreus trailer came out, and I saw that she didn't even have a face yet, but I saw that she had a violin, and I play violin IRL. So I was like, well, I have to get the character that plays the violin. And I've been looking at the beta leaks, and she attacks with a violin. So, I mean, I have no choice. I don't remember if I said hello to Cheesy already, but hey there to Cheesy and to Litopia. So, You know, I usually pull either because of, you know, design or coolness, or design and coolness is kind of like clumped together, or power. I don't actually pull too often because of power. Like I pulled Ho because of power. I pulled Tribbie because of power. Like just you just read their kits and you're like, wow, I have to have this character, you know? I would have pulled Jade for power, and I would have pulled Fugue and Linkshot for power as well, but they were running right next to Fei Xiao, who has design and power, and like I can't do it. Sela was mostly designed because I didn't understand the game when because I basically started playing with her first rerun. So I was like, wow, she's cool. She has a scythe. And then I got her really early. But at the time, she was really powerful. So, like, I probably would have gotten her anyway. She's currently on the bench. That's only because I have Fei Xiao and Jing Yuan with Sunday. And she just really can't compete. I might do a second set of farming with her, though, because it's also a little unfair to Sela, because her relics are not as good as Jing Yuan and Fei Xiao. Like, she, for the longest time, did have the best relics on my account. She's currently at, like, 83 crit rate, 160 crit damage. And I would really like to see her at 90 crit rate, 200 crit damage. And then she would kind of be on par with the other characters, because my Fei Xiao is at like 93 crit rate and like 130 crit damage. But if you know anything about Fei Xiao's kit, you know that that's actually like, it's really more like 170, 180 crit damage, because the Flying Valoria set and like all of her supports increase her crit damage, so it's actually even more than that. And even my Cypher is at like 90 crit rate, 160 crit damage. And my Jing Yuan is at 100%. I mean, 97 with Sunday. So with Sunday is 97% crit rate and like 200 crit damage. But he's kind of cheating because I'm including Sunday's bonus stats into his kit. But, like, I'm never going to play Jing Yuan without Sunday, so I may as well. Hey there, Shin. Welcome on in. I started the game in the second half of 2.2. What was that? So is that, like, 2.0 was, like, Black Swan? And I know 1.6 was Ratio and Ron May. So that sounds like Aventurine, maybe? That sounds like 2.2, right before Firefly's debut. So then Boot Hill was the one right before Firefly. 2.1 was Background Aventurine. Okay, I know for sure Boot Hill was 2.2 with Firefly then. Because if that's, oh yeah, I was doing this story thing. The side quests in this game are actually like pretty good. Not this game, but like the Amphoreus side quests have been really good. I've been really enjoying them. Probably more than the main story, actually. Just trying to get rid of these red exclamation marks. They said they would make it better. They didn't make it better. Well, they did make it better. It's just not perfect. We're just fine. My greatest weakness are red dots. What? Oh, that was the travel log, okay. this. So we're gonna import Clash. Alright, all done there. Boot Hill. Robin in 2.2. That could also be the case. And Firefly would have been 2.3. I got Boot on 3.0 and Firefly's been on the bench since then. I know that it's popular to hate on Firefly, but she's so easy to use though. Like, you could do better with Boot Hill, or you could play auto and do just, I mean, not as well, but you would basically still clear with Firefly. I was never gonna pull Firefly because, like, the game made it seem like it was so important that you like Firefly, and, like, in my experience, you had one conversation with her once. Turned out she lied to you from the very beginning of your journey, and then she died, and then you were supposed to care about her deeply for some reason, and it never stuck with me. So even though I thought her kit was very powerful, I was not interested in pulling for her. Alright, where should we do our pulls? Oh, I know where we'll do our pulls. We're going to go to Sunday's, what's it called? The Grand Theater. It's the most appropriate place to do Sunday pulls. Firefly carried me 2.3 all the way to 3.0, not gonna hear too much. Yeah, I mean, I don't really hate Firefly personally. I don't have any affection or hatred towards her, but the game really wants me to have affection towards her. That's where I stand on Firefly. Like, I don't care at all, even though the game really, really, really wants me to care. Like, she even just got a skin. Like, why does she have a skin? I actually do like this. I don't like the skin, but I like what it represents, because I looked at the, like, a side-by-side comparison, and they got rid of the scars on her face when she transforms into the thing. And it's like, you know, she always wanted to just have a normal life, even though she was born to be a super soldier. And, like, it represents a nice change in her story, but I just kind of don't care enough to buy it. Like, it should have been, like, in a cutscene or something like that, like March 7th's little outfit. Although March 7th outfit is also pay to win as well, even though if you logged in at a certain time, you would get it. Alright, so we don't technically have enough actual tickets, but we do have enough with Starlight in order to get this. We have to spend 200 in order to get this. And since I keep on forgetting to do this, let's also do some standard pulls, because I'm up to 48 right now. So let's do these first. We gotta warm up the luck. Eyes on the Prey, I think. I think I need an Eyes on the Prey. So the goal is to get, like, really bad luck on the standard banner. Like, we're gonna need to lose the 50-50 to a light cone, and then we'll use up our bad luck for the night, and then we'll win early on the other banners we're planning on doing. That's the strategy here. I should have checked my pity before doing the standard pulls. We got Eyes on the Prey followed by Sampo. Interesting. I actually really like the current 4 stars on this banner too, because I need E6 Yukong. I've always wanted to have a strong Yukong. Oh, yes. My account is saved. That's my second Dance 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 ever. Now I can finally run it on both sides. I can run Tribbie Dance 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 and Harmony MC Dance 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 in pure fiction. Like, my account is actually saved. Oh no, but that means I've used up my good luck for the night. Are the rest of my pulls gonna go terribly? We didn't get anything from the standard banner, even though we put 40 in. We might have been just at pity, or like 0 pity. Got a Luca. I didn't have S5 of that yet, or E6 of that yet. Let's see what we were at before. We haven't pulled on the standard banner since April. That's wild. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So 32. No, 31. And we just spent 40. So we're at like 71 pity on standard banner. I don't really do single pulls, so I'm not going to, but I feel like we would get a 5-star in the next 10 pull. It's actually insane that some people ironically think DDD is a bad light cone. It's a great light cone. I mean, it's not as good as people say sometimes. How do I go to other? Press tabs to switch between. Okay, there we go. So like DDD is like obviously the best 4-star light cone, and it might be better than some 5-star light cones, especially like for DPSs. But you know, Tribbie S1 is probably better than DDD because the entire team getting 48% crit damage and her getting like 12 energy per follow-up attack means you pretty much are just always ulting and doing crazy damage. That's like an insane value, but you have to spin pulls to get, you know, you have to spin pulls to get Tribbie's S1, which you don't, you know, quote unquote have to spin pulls. You kind of just get it accidentally as you're doing your stuff, you know. Hey, there you are, troopers. DD S5 in combination with 4-piece Hyperspace outstanding. I want to eventually start running like DDD with Eagle, because on a character like Tribbie, where she's SP positive anyway, so you're just kind of like moving yourself up all the time. What's DDD for? DDD is Dance Dance Dance. It's a light cone. I'll just go ahead and show it because like I want to kind of have this next part be uninterrupted, because we're about to like spin all of our pulls in a row. Hey there, Poncho. Where's my data bank? There it is. DDD is this thing here. When the wearer uses their ultimate, all allies' actions are advanced forward by 16%, but if you maximize it by combining them, it goes up to 24%. And since it's a turn-based game, the more turns you have, the more damage you do, and the more everything you do. Like, the more energy you gain, the more skill points you earn or burn, or, like, you know, the more debuffs you apply. So having more turns is kind of like the best thing you can do in an RPG. And this kind of facilitates having more turns, which is broken. Now, there's an argument to say doing more with fewer turns, like, you know, something like this where you increase everyone's crit damage by 48%, and you're also increasing your own crit damage by 36%. And I'm pretty sure these two stack on the wearer as well, and also getting yourself energy for more actual damage, or something like pass itself in the mirror. When the wearer uses their ultimate, increases all allies' damage by 24%, lasting for 3 turns. At the start of each wave, 10 energy for all allies. What are some other good ones? Well, there's this one that I'm about to pull for. When the user uses their skill or ultimate on an ally, gives themselves energy, and then also gives that ally him for 3 turns, or for 2 turns. Or for 3 turns. Each one gives you 15% damage, so that's 45% damage. So the thing with DDD is you have to use it 4 times, so you have to basically do 4 ultimates to have quote-unquote gained a full turn that you otherwise would not have had. And presumably, increasing your damage by 50% is better than increasing your damage by 25%. Because, if you take, 5 turns when you would have otherwise taken 4 turns, you've only really increased your damage by 25%. Well, but then again, like I said before, this is a 4-star light cone. You get it from the standard warp. It doesn't cost you anything to have it. You just kind of eventually get it through luck, or eventually you never get it, whatever. But you have to go out of your way and spend pulls to get these stronger light cones. It's my 2 cents at least. If you already have 100% damage bonus, then 50% is less than half a turn. True. You do have to kind of balance your own stats and decide between having more crit damage versus more damage versus all this other stuff. For some reason, Tribbie gives herself 700 damage bonus, because why not? So increasing your damage or your team's damage doesn't really mean much for her. It's Sampo, right? Oh, it's actually Luca. Ooh, okay, we're close.
Nice, let's go.
I'm almost done with E6ing every 4-star. I need Arlen, Misha. So Misha, Arlen, I know Yukong as well, Luca. I just got Sushong on the last banner that I was pulling for. Motza. Oh, that'd be really nice to get Motza. I actually use him all the time. Pela, surprisingly. Okay. That is really surprising. And Gallagher. Gallagher's would be nice too. For now. I eventually plan on replacing him with Linksha, but right now he's my 2nd best healer. There are no 4-stars past there. Alright, enough dilly-dallying. Let's pull on Sunday's banner, starting with the light cone. Check our pity. Pretty sure we're at 0 pity. Yep. Lies dance on the breeze. What is that? Lies dance on the breeze? Is that Fei Xiao's light cone? My 4-star Donhung is still E0? Wow. Something irreplaceable. So I lost a 50-50 to Clara's light cone. It's not Fei Xiao. It might be, Huahua. Because, I think that's the last 5-star that I pulled for. Oh, hers is... That's Fei Xiao, yeah. I'll look it up later. We're gonna just pull now. I don't often pull like 5-star light cones. I wonder which one that is. Hook, which I don't need. Under the Blue Sky, I think I did need that one. Planet Rendezvous, okay. That's a lot of 4 stars. There's no Siren though. So this is 20 pity coming up. Oh, that's Cypher, obviously. I just got E0S1 Cypher. Another Planetary Rendezvous. That's the last 4-star I'm missing. You should be pulling on Sunday's Light Cone banner. I keep telling you. It's so good. Or Tribbie's Light Cone banner. It's one of the featured 4-star. The only thing better than 1 Sunday Light Cone is 2 Sunday Light Cones. Like, you can really give that to like all of your action advancers. You give it to Tingyun, give it to Bronya, give it to Sunday, superimpose it. Another one? Come on, give me a Siren. Was that it? Oh, that's a 5-star. Got it early. That's 30. Let's see. Do we win the 75-25 though? We do. Ah, wonderful. Do we get a double and lose the 75-25 the next time around? Oh wait, would it be better for us to lose the 75-25 and have a guarantee for a future banner? Or should we just get the double and get 2 Sunday Light Cones? I think it would be better to get 2 Sunday Light Cones. So let's try for the double, 2 Sunday Light Cones. Got a Hanya, that's a 50 loss. Oh, I still didn't get Siren. Oh no. I need to look up this light cone to see if I actually care about it. I think it's a... what's it called? I'm pretty sure that it's a Remembrance light cone, so I probably don't care about it. It won't tell me the effect, I have to look it up. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look it up. Gotta keep pulling then, yep. Don't worry. We had to get up to 200, so we still need 160 more warps. If we... Alright, so now we're going to go for Sunday E1. Oh, that's terrible. I don't really care about that at all. Alright, let's do this. So we're hoping for Yukongs, and we're hoping for Sunday early. How early are we talking? Like, we're going to 200 regardless. So, I mean, if we got Sunday early, would we go for Tribbie E1 after that? Or would we go back to getting more Sunday Light Cones? I really think that it would be... I could go either way. Alright, let's just go in and choose from there. Oh, I forgot to look at the pity. Let's look at the pity after this. I'm pretty sure we're at 0 pity for the characters as well, because I usually stop after I get a 5-star. We get March. That's not how that works. I'm pretty sure that you get the same pity on all of them. You just wouldn't know which one you actually get it on. Let's look at the pity. Yes. No pity whatsoever. Oh, the light cone and the character banner, you mean? Well, we just got light cone and 30 pity, so there's no telling what we're gonna get. Everything except for Yukong. I mean, I do want a Tribbie Eidolon. I don't know whether I want a second Sunday light cone more than Tribbie E1. Because I could give Bronya a second Sunday light cone and make her SP positive with luck. Or I could have Tribbie E1 and then make my Sunday team even better. Because I run Tribbie... I run Jingyuan, Sunday, Tribbie, Huohua. And the team is already kind of busted. But if I had Tribbie E1 and like all the damage that is dealt to all the enemies gets redirected to the enemy with the highest HP as true damage at the end, even counting overkill damage with the Lightning Lord and everything and the skill and all that other stuff, that'd be really, really powerful. I'm not really worried about Hysolins because I'm sure that she'll rerun. Same with Cyrene. But like, this is Sunday's fourth time rerunning. I don't know if he's gonna come back again. And then also, now that we know about the memory shards from the battle pass, there's a chance that the character will be available in the future through a 50-50 loss, or with the Golden Companion Spirit, but the Light Cone will never be available ever again because it's locked behind the battle pass. So like, I'm starting to feel like I need to pull Light Cones more than characters now. Sunday's first rerun? Okay. Wow, that was a really bad pull. I only got March 7th there. Not a single Yukong? Really? I mean, at least she'll eventually be in the monthly shop, and I can get her with Starlight. I actually do need a Landau's choice. Mine is currently S4. Ooh, 0 characters. Okay. I guess I shouldn't complain about stuff. Oh man, this 4-star luck is so bad. I actually don't need any more Geniuses Repose. I think I have 2 S5 Geniuses Repose. But I like don't even use the characters that normally use those anymore. Like that used to be my Herta's like signature. We're getting kind of high up in the pulls on the character banner, but we got the light cone so early that I'm not worried about it. I think I did use up all my luck already. Just one Yukong, so that she only has to show up in the store one time. There we go. All right. I mean, the second one maybe? Oh, no. Okay. This is it. Let's see if we win the 50-50. Did I use up my luck obtaining the Yukong? We still have enough to get another 5-star after this. Oh, Sunday. Alright. E1, S1 Sunday. My account is now unrelatable. Planetary rendezvous just for fun. we do now? We need 80 more pulls still. Okay, the correct answer is obviously pull Tribbie. Like, that's the correct answer. I could split my pulls between both of them, but then I would get neither. If I pull 80 more times, then I get a free Archer Light Cone when the Fate Collab event starts. Normally, I would stop here and then just save my 50 pulls plus my 30 in Starlight for more banners in the future. Maybe if I'm lucky enough, I just get both. Maybe I get both the Tribbie and another Sunday Light Cone. Because the issue with going for Sunday's other Light Cone is, yeah, you can put it on Ting Yun, and now she's SP positive. Yeah, you can put it on Bronya, now she's SP positive. But like, I don't really use those characters now, and I could just put Bronya's Light Cone on them for now. And if I eventually get like S5 Bronya Light Cone, it'll be good enough. I pulled to build pity. Let's try for Tribbie now. We're at 0 pity, really 9 pity. I might separate the streams because we've spent so long pulling that and like waiting for the update to happen, and then do the story separately. I could get another Yukong. That was part of my reasoning. I'm also feeling a bathroom break coming on. Oh, nice. E6 Yukong. I'm actually going to take a break here real quick, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Oh, nice. Cheesy has over 500 hours. You need to give you the 500 roll. Alright, let's continue our pulls. We lost our, like, random passerby viewership, but we still got the core people coming in. Alright, nothing matters anymore. We're in a good spot. We got, like, everything that I expected to get. We actually were luckier than I expected by a long shot. In fact, even if we lost the 50-50 to E1 Tribbie again, by the way, I actually already lost the 50-50 to Tribbie on our first run. I don't remember who I lost it to. Welt? I think E2 Welt. I think it's top hours. It just takes a while. And also Streamlabs might be dead. Yeah, Streamlabs hasn't said anything this whole time. Let me just go log in real quick. Log in with YouTube. Is it gonna make me like two-factor? Hopefully not. Go to the, oops, I don't want the chat box, I want the chat bot. Which is... How did they move it? Is it behind a paywall now? There it is, CloudBot. And inactive on YouTube. Can I make that active? There we go. Alright. Streamlabs is back online. It has not been keeping track of anyone's viewership, but it's back now. Who knows how long it's been? What's it called? How long it's been inactive? Not 500 anymore. Not as far as Streamlabs is concerned. That's funny. Okay, that's actually somewhat important. Not as important because I have Cypher's light cone now. That's another 5-star. With the last 10 pull that I currently have, but we still need to transfer Starlight into getting even more. What do we want here? Do we want the win? Or do we want the loss? I kind of want the win. It would be kind of nice to have the win. But getting the loss and having a guarantee going into Highlands would also be kind of nice. I could get both. I could get the double. The win and the loss. We got the win. Did we also get a loss? My account is so unrelatable now. Every showcase I ever do is going to be crazy. What is that? So that's E0, S0, Jingyuin, E1, S1, Sunday, E2, Tribbie, and then E1, S1, Huohua. That's a 9-cost team. I love it. We still had to pull 30 more times. So we're going to go for more Sunday light cones now. So we need 30 pulls. Why did it go to 29? Okay. Let's get one more. And I still have enough for a light cone if I want one. Which is nice. Or for another 30 pulls next time around. My adventuring cost is almost as much as your whole unrelatable team. Yeah, but like the Eidolons that I pulled are like the ones that people complain about. Like E1 Tribbie, that's the one where people are like, oh, Tribbie's doing most of the damage on the team, sort of Eidolon. I think that most people would just be like, okay, it's Aventurine, like, it's fine. Now that ratio though, you know, even though he's not as high up as your Aventurine, that E4 is something else. Hey there, Chomper. No. Oh, there we go. Whew. All right. Just the completionist in me just really wanted it. There's no way I get another Sunday light cone, right? With the last 10 pull, 30 pity. Got it 30 pity last time. I think I used up my luck for the year. So I'm going to save up for next January. We got a lot in only 200 pulls. Now, 200 pulls is a lot of pulls. Or you're down to 0. It's been a while since I've seen that number. We're technically not really at 0, because we could just transfer over a couple of here. 2 more pulls. Alright, time to upgrade everything. When the zone lasts, while the zone lasts, and after enemy targets attack enemies, additionally deal true damage equal to 24% of the total damage of this attack to targets that have been dealt additional damage by the zone. That's a lot. Just for reference, that's her talent, I think. No, that's her ultimate. Activates the zone. While the zone lasts, increases his damage vulnerability. And after an ally target attacks, for every one target hit, deals one instance of quantum additional damage equal to 12% of Tribbie's max HP to the target that has the highest HP among the targets hit. So you deal 12% of your max HP to the enemy with the highest HP for every enemy hit. So you hit 6 enemies or hit 5 enemies, that's 60% additional damage. 60% of your max HP. And then on top of that, you now deal 24% of the total damage to the enemy team into that.
The whispers of the soul shatter into thousands of pieces and fly away.
Very powerful. And then you combine that with Sunday. When Sunday uses skill, the target character can ignore 16% of the enemy's target's defense to deal damage, and their summon can ignore 40% of the enemy's target defense to deal damage.
Even through thistles and thorns, we must keep moving forward.
Bronya can finally get her light come back. Sunday has been borrowing it for several patches now. I pre-farmed for this, so we just upgrade all the way up. At this point, the next thing we're going to run out of is money. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I mean, I'm going to convert all that stuff anyway, I guess. As long as it's not trying to get rid of my 4-star stuff. Going to triple check here. I know that it has the lock, so it's going to be fine. Incredible. And on top of that, I also have Yukong's to set up.
The heavens are vast. The kite flies where it wishes.
She's now a usable character. The biggest issue with Yukong is that her ultimate only lasts, or her skill only lasts for 2 turns. But with this, I can actually use her ultimate, and it automatically also activates her skill.
The heavens are vast. The kite flies where it wishes.
So I'll finish leveling her up, get it ready for Archer. By the way, her skill is she uses her skill, and then it increases the attack of all allies by 84%, which is a lot. Like more than pretty much any other support can update attack by. But it only lasts for 2 ally actions. And then if she uses her ultimate, it increases crit rate by, basically 30% and crit damage by 70%, which is also more than any other supporter can give. But it only lasts for 2 ally actions. But if there were some sort of character that could do multiple actions in one turn, like Archer, then you set this up. Archer now has 70% crit damage and 30% crit rate. I mean, at that point, it's actually kind of close to Sunday. But she also is giving 88 attack as well, which Sunday can't give. He's only giving like 16 damage percent. Acid does 70% attack at all times if you get her, keeps her sacks up, which she can if the enemies are fire weak. But she's not giving, 70% crit damage on top of it, though. She is giving 50 speed for 2 turns, as long as she can keep that up, which she can if she's using skill every turn and the enemies are fire weak. And she's using the ultimate on her turn. Well, on the turn of the ally who she wants to keep the ultimate up as long as possible. And she gets hit a couple times. Yeah, I mean, the 4 stars are like fairly decent. Like, Tingyun is giving 55% of their attack, but up to 27% of her own. So not actually 55% of her attack, because she's a 4-star, they're a 5-star. Their base attack is higher than her base attack. So she's giving basically 27% of her attack stat to allies. And then she's giving an extra 66% of that ally's attack stat, which is pretty good. And also regenerating 60 energy with her E6. Like, no one can do that. But it's on like 1 ally and it's for 3 of their turns. So like they have like weird limitations. Those are the only Eidolons I have, right? Well, we gotta use our unrelatable team now, right? This was a good spot for us to pull from. Eventually I'll get his light cone and he won't look so out of place, but this is E0 S0 Jingyuan, 1 cost. And we got Sunday at E1 S1. Tribbie at E1 S0. Huohua at E1 S1, but I also have a spare of her light cone, so she could be S2 at any point in time. Hey, remind myself, I didn't actually get the other one. Let's see, is it Planetary Rendezvous? I can actually, isn't there some sort of like mass? That's in the inventory setting, right? Mass superimpose. Well, I definitely don't want to do that. Can I choose which ones to do? That looks good to me. And then if I level up the other DDD, then it won't try to superimpose it anymore. Pretty sure that's how that setting works, if I remember correctly. Yeah, thought so. So I can't accidentally do that going forward. What a night. Alright, let's do some story for like an hour or two. have no idea what we were doing in the story. I mean, I kind of know what we were doing in the story.
A few games of chess will while away the time.
Coin of Whimsy. What are all these Coin of Whimsies for? Stuff that I got as an AXA. So I know that we had, like, it was revealed to us that we are already dead, that we actually died in the crash landing onto Amphoreus, and there was some mysterious power that was making us look like we were kind of alive and interacting with people. And Anaxa had just discovered that Amphoreus is actually on a time loop, not a time loop, but like a cycle where the flame chasers of yesteryear become the titans of today, and they lose their memories and things like that. And the current group of people, like Aglaya and Tribbie and Anaxa and so on, eventually are going to lose their humanity and become titans themselves, and then start everything over. I don't know why Trailblazer is here, though. Like, I don't remember why we are here. Presumably, we're going to meet with the Council of Elders about something politics. Or meet with Lygus and do something or the other. $99 sessions is a lot because they keep on adding more stuff, but also because I keep on just like exploring things. Like the first chapter of this game, where you escape the Herta space station, that should probably only take you like 3 hours, and then boom, you're in Belobog. But I'm pretty sure it took me 10, maybe 12 hours to reach Belobog, because I went around and talked to every NPC, got every treasure chest, finished every puzzle. And likewise here, like, I have every single treasure chest in every single area that I've gone to, and done all the puzzles everywhere as well. I have recently started doing that off stream though, because I don't think it's terribly interesting for people to watch me just talk to NPCs and go through every single dialogue option that's available to me. I mean, maybe it is, I don't know. They're not even voiced, so like... I thought that I saw a nymph. What is this? Oh, I know what that is. That's a collectible. I can do that now. Why not? There are no trash cans. Trash cans were a thing in Belobog. And then they kind of brought it back for Pentacony, and it was kind of weird that they did. Because it's kind of like the land of dreams, and the whole idea is that, hey now. And the idea is that they were like manifestations of people's discarded emotions or something like that. Sometimes I imagine myself a butterfly. It's not about how far you can fly, it's about dancing freely through the air. Of course, having a butterfly that can't cross the vastness makes this too easy. So you can probably guess what I'm about to do. I'm with you to the end. That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
There's no time to
With
lose.
skill, you got it.
It's pitiless.
Basic attack, alright.
Serenity is before me.
The ultimate, you got it.
Show no mercy.
Modesty doesn't suit a master thief. Be proud, be confident, let your ego run wild. That's how you deceive all, steal all, and plunder everything. Notice that silent Kefali over there? That old fellow so silent and dull. This world needs more than just plants growing towards the sun. We need some tipsy, unruly creatures too, don't you think? So there got to be that pop of red and the sea of green, wouldn't you say? You gonna hear the treasure chest though? There you go. Thank you. Bye bye. See you next time, Bartholos. I gotta say, I am a fan of Bartholos. I'm glad that he had a connection with Cypher. Like, I immediately connected with him. I feel like, in a way, it seems like my character likes getting scammed. Because I enjoy hanging out with Sampo. I enjoy talking with Bartholos. I enjoy hanging around Cypher.
By Catholic into Lenten above, as the Theoros I have observed. Virtuous citizens of Akamon, Finan Vides, Elysiae, and the Outlander are heading toward us.
Uh-huh. What's the significance of that? Yeah, I really wish that I, like, knew what happened the last 10 minutes of my previous stream. I could look it up. I'm not going to.
What happened here?
I know about the poisonous fangs of that king snake through the golden threads. In the past, I would be confident about keeping her in check, but I admit I am now unable to do so.
By the way, that that king snake and woman that she's talking about is the Elder Kindness, I think. He's like the leader of the civilian group that is a council of, council of elders. Technically, because they're in a war state right now, because they're in a military rule, the Chrysos heirs technically rule the nation, and the council of elders do not like that, and they're trying to wrest power from them. All this is so unimportant because I was just told that my character is going to die in 15 days, and I don't know why we're dealing with politics right now. But the game thinks that this is a good time to talk about politics, so we're gonna let it, let them go on.
It is no longer about eloquence or arguments. I have been a demigod for far too long that I hardly have any humanity left. Before I realized it, I have become no different from these hypocrites, no longer capable of relating to the people. This has come a lot sooner than I expected. But perhaps it is time. I need you to step up, Finan, in order for me to retreat behind the scenes.
Yes, this is my duty, but
I'm not ready.
It is far easier for the Council of Elders to fool many than just fool one person. Their so-called more support is no more than a ruse to distribute power using words instead of lances. is no glory in winning this debate. But that makes having respect for humans so much more priceless. Finan, you are a Chrysos heir without flaw, capable of relating deeply with humans.
I appreciate what you've taught me, Aglaya. I hope we'll live up to your expectations and win this debate.
Let's hope that we actually can win the debate. I have a history of losing the debate side quests.
Oh, you've done well, Lord Calicus. Let me take over and personally close this debate for today. Dearest counselors, let it be known that I sorely miss the blissful times portrayed in lyrical poems. Back then, Amphoreus was home to nearly 1,000 cities, each with their own local faith, while gods walked the earth and shared close bonds with humans. Yet, in the present, people from all over are forced to leave their homeland to seek refuge in the holy city, where they hope to rest under Kethali's protection. All of us have long been in the same boat, with no way out of this plight. We didn't have a choice in the past, but now the Council of Elders brings to the table a new possibility. All I have left is one question for you. Would you rather strive toward the unheard of Era Nova, or return to the prosperous Era Chrysia of our past? Make your choice. Now, which of the two would lead mortals to an ideal future?
Obviously, it's the answer that I'm supposed to give is the Era Nova, because I'm supposed to be pro flame chasers, but she's given no evidence whatsoever that either of these things are possible. Like, you can't just say, let's have things go back to the way they were, and then the Black Tide's like, oh yeah, my bad, let me just get out of here real quick. So there's not really any going back.
Is a path of salvation the gods promise. We should not have doubts in the flame chase journey.
We all know that Era Chrysia is a thing of the past, Lady Kindness. Please, enlighten me. How does the Council of Elders plan to turn back time?
Let the three Titans of Calamity be born, and Era Chrysia is nevermore. But bring demise to those Titans, and Era Chrysia will descend upon us again.
Alright, the Calamity
Know that
Titans
the
are...
Council of Elders is never one to make empty promises. Look at who we have on our side.
I mean, they don't have enough. They have Anaxa and Castorus. Castorus can take care of Death. We just killed Strife. Who's the last one? Oh, Trickery. Well, we don't know where Cypher is in this part of the story so far.
Anaxagoras, one of the Grove's 7 sages. And Castorus, Idonia's goddess of death. With the help of these two heroes, I can promise all of you that Era Chrysia will exist once more.
I chose Era Chrysia. Era Nova is a total unknown. She's just making empty promises, though. Like, what is she going to do to turn back the Black Tide? I mean, maybe she's about to explain it, but without any knowledge of anything, there's no way that they can go back to an Amphoreus that has 1,000 city-states, each with their own individual faith, and the Black Tide doesn't exist, and the Titans walk around among humans. Like, even if they, like, got rid of the Black Tide right now, which they can't even do, they couldn't possibly just, like, restate the old city-states, because so many people died from the Black Tide, they wouldn't have the network and the infrastructure to like put things back the way they were. Like everyone would go back to their empty homeland, which is just a bunch of destroyed buildings, and like it's just all like impossible. They should start going towards something new. Now I don't know what necessarily that means. That like it's like I don't know what it entails by me saying Era Nova is the thing that I want, but it's pretty easy to say that I don't want, or it's impossible to even have the Era Crisis. Well, the people still exist in the Era Nova? I don't know the answer to that. I know that the prophecy says that all of the Chrysosayers will die. I don't know about the normal people. Maybe everyone will die. I don't know. Like I said, I actually don't know what the Era Nova even means fully. But I also agree with fixing the world as it is. But the thing that she's promising is completely impossible. No, the Calypso became Cersei without her memories. No one alive has memories of the past Titans being human. I mean, that's not that weird, though, because that was more than 2,000 years ago. Like, more than 2,000 years ago, the Calypso had already turned into Cersei's, and we know that these people don't live to be, like, more than 3,000 years, for example. So how many generations does it take before, you know, things that happened in the past become just myth? They don't have the internet, really. I mean, they kind of have the internet, but, you know, even trying to tell an accurate telling of the American history, which happened in modern history, so to speak, and has only been like 250 years, is kind of difficult. I couldn't even imagine. I mean, also our lifespans are a lot smaller than the people of Amphoreus, so I guess it's not 100% one-to-one, but I think that is pretty reasonable to just assume that enough time has passed that people have just forgotten.
Aren't they Chrysos heirs? They're supporting the Council of Elders instead?
It's clear from the start that these heroes do not get along well in their group. All the more proof that Aglaia isn't fit to speak on behalf of every Chrysos heir. I am in favor of Era Chrysia.
Era Chrysia! Era Chrysia!
I don't understand why the humans are just voting on this. Like, what will happen if everyone in the entire city says Era Chrysia? Does that just mean that the Council of Elders is now in charge and Aglaia steps down out of power? And then what? Like, I don't know what the stakes here are.
Casters? Why are you standing over there?
You finally arrived, Naxa. So have you, Cass.
Don't worry, Aglaia. Well, I know that you have many queries. Could you continue to converse like how the citizens normally do? Tell me, dear citizens, if we successfully retrieve and return Thanatos' core flame without anyone passing the Death Titan's trial, what would happen next?
Are they assuming that no one dies anymore because Thanatos is dead? We know that, you know, Encoder died and we actually had Maide pass the trial, so strife technically exists. but he's locked away in Maide, and it might be several centuries, millennia before he actually becomes a Titan.
The answer is simple. We will have a chance to rid the world of death and bring Amphoreus back to an era when all beings live forever.
Back to an era
We'll
that
usher in
actually used to
new
be a thing?
future that will be entirely different from the flame chase journey.
I mean, I guess, kinda.
He's one of the seven sages.
It's not like Aquila's particularly friendly.
Your proposal is much too idealistic. As long as the Black Tide still exists, how can we go back to the old days?
That's what I keep saying.
Remember
The Black
what
Tide's
I
still a
previously
thing.
said? Kefali's core flame is guarded by the secret power of the Council of Elders. Plus, Fagusa's water curtain will be able to block out any external perceptions.
Okay. So everyone just stays in Akuma, and then they live forever in this one city? Do they reproduce? Do they make more of themselves? Do they run out of resources? Do they run out of food and then live forever anyway, so they're just starving all the time but cannot die from starvation?
Tell me, dear citizens, have any of you ever seen even a glimpse of the threat that this person is talking about anywhere within the walls of this majestic holy city?
Yes, because as soon as we arrived to Akuma, it was under attack by the Strife Titans, Titankin. So what are you talking about? And then even after that, we had to uncover the fact that more of Nikodor's Titankin had snuck their way into Amphoreus, and were about to stage some sort of, like, you know, secret operative thing.
If we eliminate death, then there's no need for us to fear that flame reaper.
Yeah, you'll just be cut in two and still be alive, right? But that wasn't the Black Tide though. There's like the Black Tide has, as far as we know, been spreading from the outside of the world going inwards this entire time. Like, is the Black Tide just kind of like hanging out at the edge of Akuma and not going any further for some reason? I mean, I guess it's the light from Kefali that's stopping it from coming forward. Will Kefali eventually die? Like, Janus eventually died at some point in time. If they're living forever, right? They're talking about, 10,000 years from now. Will eventually Kefali just die? And then the light goes out, and then the Black Tide comes in and consumes all of them? And they're all just kind of alive inside the Black Tide? Well, I think the Black Tide converts them into monsters, so they're kind of alive, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the Chrysos Heir's plan is either for combating the Black Tide. I don't really think that this is a good idea, and I think that the Chrysos Heirs need to explain their plan better, rather than we're just going to go gather all the Titan's core flames and then a miracle happens and then we win. Like, I think that's kind of the main problem.
Citizens, let's loudly sing the blessed hymn. Oh, beautiful old world, where are you now? Oh, legendary Erechrysia, return to the mortal realm.
After the destruction of the 3 Titans of Calamity, the Flame Chase journey will have to end.
I still think Aquila's not friendly either, so I don't know if this is a foolproof plan.
This is bad. The masses are now totally riled up.
Anaxa, pray tell, Everything that you've mentioned hinges on the premise that we can find Thanatos' existence. Right?
So does yours, yeah.
Thank you, Lady Aglaya, for still caring about this city. However, dear citizens, we are truly fortunate and blessed. For Castorus, Idonia's goddess of death, will surely find Thanatos under my guidance.
What?
With that, I solemnly promise that the core flame Lady Castorus brings back will be personally managed by the Council of Elders. Thereafter, if we are able to garner the support of all of you at the Citizens' Assembly, we shall spare no effort in ensuring that the Erechrysia will return to our world once again.
With the balance shattered, the result is clear. Buy carefully into Lenten above, as the Theoros I have observed. Akama has chosen her destiny. The issue up for discussion at this Citizens' Assembly shall be modified to the suspension of the Flame Chase journey. This resolution shall be put up on the Wall of Heroes, such that all citizens are aware of the city's way.
This was not much of a debate. I don't think we ever presented a counterpoint. I think they just said, we want this to happen, and then we said, how do you plan on doing it? And they said, this is how we plan on doing it, and then
Aglaya, dear
the
Aglaya,
citizens agreed.
what has caused your heart to soften? You also don't seem to be as quick-witted as before.
Wag your tongue as much as you like. Since the Flame Chase journey has been preordained by the prophecy, our failure has never been on the cards.
Well then, I guess we'll find out if that's true at the Citizens' Assembly.
Also, like...
Castorus, what is going on?
Okay, I mean, somewhat. Alright, so I'm thinking, like... Alright, so, like, what happens? What does it even mean to end the Flame Chase journey, so to speak, right? We still have some fraction of the Chrysos heirs that are willing to continue the journey. And we have basically at least one or two that are not willing to continue. So I guess you wouldn't actually be able to continue it if if Anaxa and Castorus never become demigods, technically speaking. And then it just comes to a standstill, I guess.
Well, it seems that when I sent you to look for Anaxa, I unintentionally facilitated your partnership with him instead.
My apologies, everyone. I know that you have many questions to ask me. I will answer them to the best of my knowledge.
I have 0 questions. I already know everything. You've been trying to track down the Death Titan since forever. You think that he has your sister, and you'll do anything to get her back.
In that case, please tell us as much as you can.
Okay, let's go into the past, I guess.
In actuality, he showed me a past that was both long and heavy.
The reason I say this is as I've mentioned earlier. The answer was hidden in my journey unto death.
Okay, so now we're back to the part where, in the past, Anaxa climbed the mountain to reach Kefali, and he was like clearly at death's door all the entire way, like seeing ghosts of people that had long since gone. including of Circe's / Calypso. And he actually went to the Nether realm a couple of times. Every time he like rests too long or closes his eyes for too long. And so now we're picking back up at this point after Castorus finds him at the top of the mountain. Have a good night, Litopia. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Professor, you were in the Netherrealm?
Yes, I am but a living dead man now. But that's not important. What truly matters is, I overheard a conversation between heroes.
Have you heard of this tale before? A tale about the ocean god's treasured pearl, our hometown. It was a seaside town which enjoyed the ocean breeze and glorious, peaceful times, thanks to the wisdom of its ruling queen.
That is not what this tapestry is telling me. I'm seeing a lot of war and conflict, actually.
Until one day, an evil dragon
Right, there we
descended
go.
upon the town. Its wings were large enough to blot out the sun, while its claws were sharp enough to rip the waves apart. It barged into the tall tower and devoured the queen's beloved daughter. It even settled itself in her bedroom, like a tyrant king. The queen assembled 300 warriors who managed to subdue the evil dragon by chaining it up. However, when the queen slit open the dragon's belly, she realized that the princess had long since been digested, and all that was left of her was a pile of bones. Devastated, the queen wept for several days. It was then that a devious, smooth-talking scholar arrived at the palace and suggested that the princess could be revived through the use of dragon bone and dragon blood. That liar called this process the secret art of alchemy.
I mean, that is generally the end goal of alchemy. He's gonna create a homunculus, though. This won't be an actual human. Can't really make life like that.
The princess was reborn. The queen was overjoyed, blissfully unaware that the evil dragon's soul still lurked within the princess's body. As revenge, the evil dragon swallowed the poor queen, the glib liar, the courageous warriors, and all of the town's innocent civilians in a single gulp.
That's a really huge dragon.
Worse still, the souls of the deceased were refused entry to the Netherrealm because they were filled with regret. Forced to roam the mortal realm, these resentful souls ultimately converged into a river of souls that would not retreat for a long time. The terrifying death had consumed all. Thereafter, our hometown fell into ruin as well. Until...
Wait, what? I thought we were talking about their hometown this whole time. I can't go back anymore. Oh well. I guess they were talking about a place like their hometown. I don't know.
Until?
Actually, I don't know what happened next either.
Oh my. It seems that you still like to whet people's appetites even after all this time, Pelixia. So, according to your story, this is how I used to look? It's practically a mirror image. And yet, what exactly is this?
A miracle that I created with alchemy. As for what it is and how I was able to accomplish it, I'll keep the answers to myself for now.
Oh, my goodness. Is this cliffhanger really necessary?
Usually, it just takes a little bit of your soul. It's not that. I mean, it is important and very significant, but for someone like Anaxa, It's not.
Quiet, Titan. Continue to enjoy this splendid play, and the truth will naturally reveal itself.
Dragon, huh? I've heard this legend before.
In that case, what do you think of it?
I think that this so-called alchemy was a tenuous analogy added to the story by future generations. After all, you've never heard of a tradition of alchemy in your hometown before, have you?
Indeed. Before I left home to pursue my education, I never even knew that anybody was looking into this area of study.
Therefore, we can just treat this tale as a fable told to young children.
A fable, you say? If so, what moral is it trying to impart to the kids?
I'd be okay with 4-star Plixia and Calypso.
I guess it might be the concept of equivalent exchange.
Oh? I thought the moral might be closer to something like honor the dead. What? At a loss for words?
No, I merely realized that we're both thinking of the same principle. If life is priceless, then there is hardly anything else in this world that is of equal weight to it, right?
Yeah, usually it would be another life, but
Indeed. As expected of the wisest scholar in the land.
You flatter me. Why don't I ask you a question as well, as a form of equivalent exchange?
Of course. What is your question?
If I imparted my knowledge of the art of alchemy to you, would you use it to resurrect someone you loved?
What? What kind of strange question is this? I got it. You're just trying to get me to tell you whether I like anyone, right?
Let's just leave it at that. That was rude of me.
Yes, I would.
Oh,
that's like clearly the wrong answer. Didn't you not just listen to that story?
Is inevitable. In the days to come, I'm certain that someone whom I cherish deeply will leave me for good. If such a mighty power really existed, I think I would use it without hesitation. After all, you, me, and the rest will all have to face that fateful moment eventually. My time is finally here. However, perhaps because of my firm belief in the immeasurable value of life, I am unable to complete the trial.
you shall wither, and through that, the dead will sprout again from the remains, and be reborn with the dead flame. It is a pity that fate is such a cruel mistress.
Is there no other way of interpreting those words?
Sneakador.
I'm afraid that the meaning is clear. Between my sister and me, one must pay the price.
This is not that long ago.
sacrifices her life.
Because Polixia presumably is Castorus' sister.
I'm afraid that the prophecy might even have selected a pair of twins.
Yeah, they're twins even.
For this exact purpose.
That doesn't make any sense.
Fortune makes fools of us all.
My sister is prepared to sacrifice herself. And yet, I can't do the same.
Does that mean Castorus is like way older than anyone else?
How absurd. My time is almost up, but I'm still afraid to welcome death. What should we do? If I'm ultimately not able to make up my mind...
Since Chaos is willing to guide all of us and leave this trial to the end, there is still plenty of time for you to ponder.
Oh, look at the starboard. That's literally the last core flame that they need. They've got everything else up until then. That's tragic. Like, imagine you got 11 demigods, 12 core flames, and the very last Chrysos heir can't complete her trial. Like, at that point, go looking for another Chrysos heir, right?
That's right. Don't allow the fog of an uncertain future to cloud your mind.
Wait, hang on a second. She took Thanatos' core flame and couldn't complete the trial. That means that she actually defeated or took the core flame. That's exactly what Anaxa was proposing to the council, and he already has seen in the past like what's about to happen when this happens here.
Trial, prophecy, the topics that they're discussing seem familiar. But these three people must not have left their names in the epics. Otherwise, I would have some recollection of this.
Amphoreus' history before the Titans were born was complete chaos. Is that not strange by itself? I have long held 3 hypotheses about this. However, let's continue watching for now.
Calypso. Polixia.
I think that this phrase statement by Calypso means that this is the last trial. I mean, I guess to leave this trial to the end could also mean that everyone else is going to take their trial first and then you'll take your trial last. And we haven't taken our trial yet necessarily.
And this warrior, I seem to have met him somewhere before.
Regarding this matter, Nias, are you confident that you'll complete your trial?
Nias, that's Nikador.
Of course. Though,
So he hasn't actually completed his trial yet. Have any of them completed their trial yet? Are they just gathering the core flames without actually making any demigods? That actually seems like a better way of doing it than what the current group of heroes is doing. If there's a time limit to getting the core flame and being a demigod and then losing your humanity and becoming a titan, and I don't think they know about becoming a titan, but like even the gathering the core flame and losing your humanity, if there's a time limit to that, it seems like it would be better off just gathering the core flames and not becoming demigods yet. I don't know that they get any special powers by being the demigods they don't already have. Like, I don't know whether Aglaya had the golden threads before she became a demigod or after. Okay, so Tribbie probably got the Sentry Gate after being a demigod. That's pretty clear. So probably Aglaya also got her golden weave. after becoming a demigod. I guess Maide just got stronger. He was already like immortal. I don't know. We'll continue.
Looks like you have made up your mind.
Yes, this is the safest course of action.
Completely separating courage, honor, tenacity, sacrifice, and reason. You really know how to make things difficult.
Please, young lady, witness my fall and demise. Lady Calypso, you shall host the soul-rending ceremony.
I do not understand. Why would you dare to sacrifice yourself for a future that you won't get to witness?
That's a weird take coming from Polixia, because she should understand the idea of sacrificing yourself for a future you don't get, because she was just talking about how she loves her sister so dearly. But I guess her reaction to my sister may die one day is I would just revive her and not let me die for my sister instead. So yeah, I guess I could see it. Polixia's got a case of the Maides.
Because this is our destiny.
Unwilling to fulfill her duty.
The power that resides within me is so intense that I will one day be engulfed by it. Furthermore, a valorous death before glorious return has always been the path I chose to walk. A journey I began long ago. If your sister or Chaos were in my position, I believe they would make the same choice as well.
I'm not that brave.
Yeah,
I don't know
she
how
just admitted it herself.
I'm supposed to face such a serious affair.
Despite being Death's chosen one, it seems you still don't know how to face it. Let's chat, young lady. Perhaps I shouldn't end my journey so hastily. Since there's still time, I'm not worried about letting fate wait a little longer.
Of course. This warrior is Lord Anaias. As the embodiment of Encoder's divinity, he entrusted his life to us and allowed humankind to end his madness. That means that what I'm currently seeing before my eyes is, in fact,
The past.
Looks like one hypothesis of mine has already been proven true. These heroes are the true forms of the Titans, before they attain their divinity. If so, the chosen one of death that he speaks of is actually...
Polixia. Is the previous form of Thanatos? But her appearance...
If this is true, as long as we can find out where she went, we'll naturally be able to figure out the location of the Death Titan.
This is kind of, I guess, true, but like, are they going to witness history in real time as history progresses? I mean, obviously they jumped around here. Like, I feel like it would be extremely slow to like just follow her around. I guess they have time though. Like they have centuries maybe to make this happen. I guess it's possible. Would the trail go cold once she actually becomes Thanatos? I don't know. That's a question for later.
But before that, we first need to witness what ultimately happened to Lord Anaias. Lady Tribbie, please stay close.
Does casters kill immediately with their stuff? I don't think it's gonna let me look at her. Yeah, I didn't think so. But I can do it through the databank though. Got an achievement. Oh, that was like forever ago. I have 0 remembrance characters. Oh my. Okay. Technique, blah blah blah. For 20 seconds, enemies are unable to approach. Attacking them will enter combat and then just summons the Nemo strike. And immediately actions advance forward. If you die now in battle, do you get Mono Cocoon back? What is that? That's her talent? No, that's this thing, right? No, it's not that thing. Where would that be? Maybe it's a trace. I don't think it's on her trace tree anywhere. Yeah, it's not on her character list anywhere. I think that if I had like ability, then I think it would be there. Like, for example, it doesn't show up here, but if I actually had the character, then I could go to character and then look at abilities. I think it would be another ability here instead.
Lord Nias's honor is sealed here.
Incredible. The honor in this child's soul is so light.
Nikador's courage is a testament that they have never once retreated from a battle.
I've heard that these words are still engraved in Castrum Kremnos even today. It didn't occur to me that they were actually part of an alchemical formula. Sealed within this statue is undoubtedly his sacrifice.
They use their own body as our city walls, keeping out and protecting us from the pervasive spread of madness. They are acutely aware that if the end times were to arrive, there would be nothing left in this world to conquer.
I believe that his tenacity is sealed within this statue.
Before we fought Nikador, we also released it from the stone statue.
Honor, courage, tenacity, sacrifice.
And finally, the only thing that remains, his reason.
Chin up, young lady. There is no need to shed tears over a glorious death.
All farewells in this world are sorrowful, Lord Nias.
It's like the only thing I've agreed with her so far on.
No, young lady. As a warrior, I have witnessed too many bitter deaths. But now, all I feel is peace. I did not know until this moment that mortals could live their lives in such a way.
Although only a sliver of your soul remains, you remain so optimistic. Or maybe the truth is that you aren't able to feel sorrow anymore.
To be honest, I don't know either. But I am certain of one thing. This is not an acceptance of death nor apathy toward it. It's not even a feeling of despair. I am just enjoying what remains of my life to the fullest.
Enjoying?
Indeed. Along this journey that we've taken together, not only have I changed the world, I myself have also changed in the process. And now I have reached the journey's end. When I look back and see the grand epic that I've personally written, how could I not revel in that fact?
But when you depart the mortal realm, won't all of your accomplishments be reduced to nothing?
No. Your accomplishments are still your accomplishments. They're written on history. And not even written in history. It's written into the fabric of reality that you've helped shape. Like, the person that invented vaccines eventually died, but their accomplishments are definitely not reduced to nothing, you know? Makes it sound so simple, but how does one go about believing it? I do believe him. Like, if he actually thinks that he had a good life and, you know, enacted good positive change in the world and is about to die surrounded by his close friends that helped him on the journey, I think that it's pretty common for humans to be like, I'm satisfied with my life and it would be okay if I died now. Like, he has no regrets. Like, it's a storybook death, basically, like the end of a movie with the old man dying in the hospital bed, satisfied, you know? Doesn't he regret not being around to see it? I think that he has already seen the effect he's had on the world. Like he said, somewhere along the way I changed the world and I changed myself, and I look back and see all the things that I've done so far, and that's already enough. Like, he doesn't necessarily have to look forward. Although the task that he's doing right now is in order to help the future. That doesn't matter. Like, he's already met the threshold of satisfaction for his life.
Separation and death are two sides of the same coin. Reconciling this doesn't come easily for a mortal.
No, I think that there's a bit of unfairness in here because he clearly has plenty of more life left in him. He's like basically in the prime of his life, and the people that he's leaving behind will be sad that he's gone. So that's a little unfair that he's just satisfied and is able to just end it here, and the people that love him have to keep on living in a world without him. So like, that's a little unfair and maybe selfish, but like, you know, everyone's gonna die eventually. I don't know. He's happy with what he's done so far.
Finally, let me recount to you a story of mine, young lady.
Yeah, that's basically what I was getting at. Where like, yeah, he's had a great life and he could end it here, and it's good for him and unfortunate for the other people that are still around.
The first time I returned from the battlefield, I felt extremely hollow. The calamity had devoured everybody on the battlefield but me. When I returned to the city alone, the citizens held a banquet for me that was far from pleasant. I felt as though I was still on the battlefield, and the person who had returned was nothing but an empty shell. It was late into the night by the time the banquet ended. My head still reeling, I returned alone to the barracks. On the way back, I encountered someone. It was a crazed scholar looking at the night sky and muttering to himself by the side of the road. Although I tripped over him and fell, I wasn't angry in the slightest. And maybe because I saw myself in him, I inexplicably asked him a question. Do you think that it'd be better if we just died on the roadside like a couple of stray dogs? To my surprise, he shrugged his shoulders and sighed.
How does someone who is currently experiencing death, dying and living, afford the same amount of bliss? Now please go away and don't block my starlight.
Are you trying to say that there is no difference between living and dying? For they are both journeys that lead toward death?
That's exactly what life is, and death is, but a scale to measure how valuable the journey was. Journeys and epics are only glorious and magnificent because all things eventually fade to dust. Therefore, young lady, don't detest your fate. Instead, willingly and respectfully embrace it.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to go over well.
Telling me about the majesty of the world.
Indeed. I believe that when the fated moment eventually arrives, you will be able to understand my words. It is time for me to knock on death's door. I will set up a long table at the end of the road and humbly await your arrival.
This is like Tribbie saying, I'll see you at the end of the West Wind.
Let us drink and be merry then.
I knew this day would eventually come.
Are the both of you ready?
The both of you?
Mm-hmm. Polixia. I'm here.
Okay.
What? This...
Okay, so Castorus doesn't remember this happening. So this isn't as recent as I thought. Because I thought if they're twins and, you know, Polixia is clearly Castorus' sister. Because Castor and Pollux, you know, Greek mythology, blah, blah, blah. But if she doesn't actually remember this happening, then that means it's not actually in the last couple hundred years. So the timeline can make sense. But since there are so many animated shorts and stories from Castorus' childhood, like when exactly was that childhood? Adds a couple more questions, but I'm sure the story will explain it all.
This is quite interesting indeed.
Is this Polixia's sister? Is it me? Now, it's time for us to fulfill our promises.
So,
are you afraid?
Are they Chrysos heirs 11 and 12? Or is it 12 and a spare? Also, I'm not. Does this castress also have the power to kill anyone that she touches?
What are you afraid of?
That I won't be able to do it.
You shall wither, and through that, the dead will sprout again from the remains, and be reborn with the dead flame.
I'll be reborn with the dead flame. Okay, so through that, the dead will sprout again from the remains, be reborn. So I think Castress dies, gets reborn, and then the dead flame is her power to just kill people when she touches them. Maybe that's the prophecy here.
As foretold in the prophecy, and according to our vows, once it all ends, we must face our fated moment head on.
Even if it was prophesized, do we have no say in the matter? It's so unfair. Why are we the only ones who are forced into mutual destruction? Let me do it, sister. Let me be death sacrifice. I was never long for this world anyway. But you're different. I was the one who wasted your life after all.
You're wrong, Polixia. I don't think that my life was wasted. Just the opposite. When I finally arrived at this destination and looked back at the journey I took, I discovered that flowers had long since bloomed along the path I walked.
So now Castress is just telling Polixia the exact same thing that Naya said, except with slightly different wordings.
It was you who sowed the seeds for this sea of flowers. One that is more beautiful than the promised land at the end of the world.
At the end of the West Wind.
Besides, I have lived a fulfilling life. Even though I was fated for sacrifice, none of the things that I've experienced will dissipate. Instead, they'll forever live on as memories inside your head.
Oh, this is very tragic.
Will they not?
Because the implication of this statement, along with the fact that Castress doesn't actually remember anything, is no, those memories will not actually live on forever inside anyone's head.
How could my memories of you ever compare to the actual you?
Well then, tell me.
I know that this is a intense moment and about like how can the memory of you ever compare to the real you, but more often than not, the memories of someone that you love that passed away is actually better than the real thing. You end up creating an idealized version of that person, and you only remember the good things that they did, and they are forever at least as good as that, and they never get to ever do anything wrong in the future to make you like lessen that view of them.
What exactly are we?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But regardless of what the answer is, regardless of how we're shaped by others, or even by this world, ever since we were born, the fact that we existed was predestined, and nothing could erase it. This is why I will always, always be by your side.
Those are just like soft, fuzzy words, I guess.
We're twins, after all.
Because they won't literally always be by her side. They'll be metaphorically and symbolically by her side.
All right,
The other things about like, oh, I felt I had a good life and you'll always remember me and all this other stuff, those are like real things. I'll always be by your side is, you know, just metaphor.
It's time to extract my heart and light the flame of death.
Extract my heart, light the flame of death. So maybe
After that, use it to plant the first bud in the prophesied new world.
maybe that's why she doesn't remember, because her heart is missing. Is her heart actually missing? She does have that kind of rib cage coloring on her chest.
I imparted my knowledge of the art of alchemy to you, would you use it to resurrect someone you loved?
Death is inevitable.
Okay, come on. We literally just had this. We don't really need a flashback for the phrase that literally just happened.
Will leave me for good.
Like, if they were going to do that, they should have just said Calypso's part and then left off Pelixia's reply that we just heard 20 minutes ago.
If such a mighty power really existed,
It's like I always say, the writing in this for this game is like almost good, and then they like ruin it by filling in the dots for people that don't read or like don't have media literacy.
my answer remains the same. This is why, sister, I promise you, in the prophesized new world, I shall plant the first bud on your behalf. Go now. Return to the ocean god's treasured pearl, our hometown. I shall open wide the entrance to the netherrealm and grant you a second life.
Oh, okay. So they made a new world
Shall
then.
respond to my call and lead you to the sacred daylight.
So Castris is actually being of the netherworld.
Back on the land of the dead. Do not stop moving. In the new world promised by the prophecy, march toward your new life.
So they are recreating the world each time.
Equivalent exchange. Let me be the one to pay it.
She could even be the cause of the black tide, for all we know.
We've come to the end. Unfortunately, I am not compatible with the Supreme Being, so I was unable to completely fuse their soul into my own body. However, being able to glean all this from them is exciting enough. I'm certain of this now. Before the Titans that we are well acquainted with were born, a group of heroes roamed the land. These heroes followed a prophecy and took possession of divine authorities one by one, until they eventually became the pantheon of the new world. Just like the flame chase journey of today, Amphoreus' history is cyclical in nature.
What a startling revelation. This means that the demigods, who bear the core flames, will also become the new titans at the world's end.
Okay, Anax's point of view is becoming more reasonable now.
I believe that this is the truth behind the Era Nova, as mentioned in the prophecy.
Because now he has deduced that, you know, if they actually succeed in the Flame Chase journey, the end of that is the 12 Crisis Slayers become demigods and then titans, and then they remake the world as they see fit. And then at some point in time in the future, the Black Tide comes back anyway. That last part is probably speculation, because you know, you can assume that if you've seen N-1 and you're currently on N, that you can assume an N+1. and he doesn't like that. He still hasn't come up with an alternative, although his alternative is, let's just take Thanatos' core flame and not use it, and then just have a world where there are 11 demigods and no death. I think that he hasn't taken a cynical view on immortality, though, because there's still things like dismemberment or starvation or, you know, being consumed by the black tide and converting into abominations that still mean that you're alive, quote unquote, but in eternal agony. But yeah, I think that it's not as unreasonable as it was at the start of this story.
This is utterly unbelievable.
And Casterus is a holdover from the previous world.
Those twins in the past, even if they really are Thanatos, their whereabouts are still unknown even today.
Are their whereabouts truly unknown? Didn't Polixia mention that seaside town? The birthplace of alchemy in the tale of the dragon. In our world, there exists a city which perfectly matches that description. Styxia.
But the people there worship Vagusa and bear no relation to Thanatos. I have also never been to that place, as in the time of Idonia, it had long turned into underwater ruins.
Take this.
This is...
the new Sporist masterpiece, the Philosopher's Stone. It was made by transmuting all of the sage's wisdom into a single entity, with their flesh and blood as its foundation.
I was going to say, because he said transmuting all of the sage's wisdom into a single entity, he really means taking all of their souls, but then he explicitly said with their flesh and blood as the foundation. So it's really all the sage's lives poured into one stone, which is usually the end goal of alchemy. Not the end goal. I don't really know really much about IRL alchemy, but I did watch the entire Full Metal Alchemist anime show, and pretty much it always ends with creating a philosopher's stone by sacrificing thousands and thousands of lives, and now it's the soul. Now it's the stone that has already basically made the great sacrifice of having all those human souls and lives, and therefore it's able to do better alchemy than usual because the equivalent exchange is easy because you're just giving up a little bit of some soul. That sounds like a cursed artifact. Oh, it's very cursed, yeah.
Remember? I've mentioned before that the art of alchemy is all about conversion.
Now the question is...
and ascension. This process also applies to the pursuit of truth. Regardless of how unbelievable this sounds, the truths of the world have been refined from the impurities.
Now the question is... did those sages give up their body, mind, and soul and blood willingly? Or did Anaxa, seeing the black tide at the doorsteps of the grove, just transmute the whole city and get the Philosopher's Stone on the spot? You know, maybe.
Think about the story of the dragon. This stone will lead you to your real hometown, allowing you to reform the door to the Netherrealm and discover Thanatos' fate.
You still look as confident in your victory as ever. But what if your conjecture is wrong?
Simple. I shall merely admit to the entire world that my experiment was a failure. However, my line of thinking will not fail because I have already planted the seeds of doubt into the hearts of the masses. Actions speak louder than words, Casterus. With the assembly about to begin, don't forget the promise you've made.
I've already searched for so long. I'm willing to try one more time. While we converse, her life is also slowly slipping away. But before I leave, I have another question. What exactly did we witness just now?
That was the world imprinted in Kefali's soul.
Ah. Kaos. Yeah, that makes
If we are
sense.
to prove its existence, you must take the final step. Go. Do not disappoint me.
I understand.
Hey, child of humanity.
Don't get antsy. I still remember the question you posed to me. As a scholar, I do not wish to offer up ambiguous conclusions. Let's discuss this topic again when she manages to find the evidence.
If I remember correctly, that question was, what exactly are we? Not like a defining the relationship sort of way, but like a, are you dead? Am I you? Are you me? This sort of way. I still believe that he's a homunculus. A reanimated human corpse powered by alchemy. As opposed to zombies where reanimated corpses powered by magic.
I wanted to ask, was that stone transmuted from your heart?
Yep.
If so, rebirth is no longer an option for you.
Why not? When I was a child, I lost someone dear to me. When I was a teenager, I lost my faith. A while back, although you saved my life, I also lost my soul in the process. Now I'm merely forsaking my body. What's the big deal?
Why are you always finding ways to die? Isn't it good to be alive?
This is but a necessary sacrifice on my path to transform into the purest of them all.
Can someone who's dead even claim to be the purest of them all? Furthermore, if your hypothesis is proven correct, does it not just confirm that the myths are true, and thereby invalidate all your theories?
No, it's just the opposite. If my hypothesis is correct, it means that I can actually ascend to godhood and reshape this absurd world that you all have created.
Yeah, it's kind of win-win for him. Either he's right, well, actually, it's not necessarily win-win. So, if he's correct, and his hypothesis is correct, and the new world will be created by the Chrysos heirs, then what? Like, he just says, I'm right, guys, don't remake the world, don't finish the flame chase journey, everyone's gonna die. And then they die by the black tide instead. Or he says that he's wrong. Oh wait, no, he actually just said that this is about face, actually. He's actually willing to continue it if he's correct. And he wants to remake the world. But that seems like counterintuitive to what he's been saying so far about how he needs to stop the flame chase journey. And it would still prove that the myths are true, somewhat. And the prophecy is true, somewhat. Because he ran out of his spare eyes and soul and had to move on to other alchemy materials, like his heart. I think the heart isn't enough. I think he had to also take some scholar bodies. Like, if we're talking about equivalent exchange, like having a philosopher's stone that has the power of souls and bloods and body and wisdom and all that combined and together, I guess like the stone itself, like the physical stone that holds all this stuff, is his heart, and the blood and body and wisdom of the scholars is the other stuff. So if he's wrong about this and he just admits to the world that he's wrong, which is like kind of whatever. And then if he's right, then so it seems like no matter what, he will go along with the flame chase journey, right? He'll either say, whoops, I was wrong, this isn't a cycle, let's continue the flame chase journey, or he'll say, I was right, haha, like this is all just a cycle. Well, anyway, time to make the world in my image. Alright, back to the present.
A lot to take in at once.
I can say that, you can say that again. We switched to Casper's perspective and heard talking for about an hour. Didn't fight anything at all. And yeah, it's just been an hour of talking. I mean, some of it was actually us stopping and talking and debating philosophy and whatnot. Yep, that was an hour of yap. And it's like 12:30 now. I need to go to bed soon. So as soon as I get control of my character, we're going to end the stream. But let's see what Finon and Aglaya and Trailblazer do in response to learning about all of this.
Lady Aglaya, please, let me explain.
I think you explained it pretty clearly.
Go on.
You know that the core flame of death has always been the greatest unknown regarding the Era Nova, which is why both you and Kynus desire to gain the power to control that core flame in the approaching Citizens' Assembly. Professor Anaxa has come to a consensus with Kynus. They want to suspend the trial once Thanatos' core flame is reclaimed, hoping thus to eradicate death from this world. If they're successful, then the flame chase journey will cease, and Akama can enjoy everlasting peace. But I know this runs counter to your wishes. So long as we do not usher in Era Nova, the Black Tide will never be eradicated. Even with Lord Mighty on the front line, and the Black Tide not posing an immediate risk, the danger nevertheless remains. Honestly, it's difficult for me to assess the pros and cons in this decision. But someone must bring the core flame before we can begin negotiations over it. The Titan could be very near. I cannot let this chance slip by. Besides, someone has to make this trip to bring back Mrs. Soul.
Well said. You already had every reason to seek an audience with Thanatos. It's that great performer who has weaponized your wishes and placed us in this difficult situation.
She says a great performer in terms of Anaxa, for those that don't know.
A world without death. Do you desire that too?
I think she would desire that more than anyone because she literally kills anyone that she touches. So, you know, being able to actually hug people and hold hands and things like that.
If fate dictates that my path must oppose yours, I will do all I can to resist it and protect what I aspire to achieve. Lord Mighty showed me that without taking the first step, all talk of what follows is moot.
Has she really changed? I mean, she's standing up against Aglaya, I guess, but she before was just going to silently undermine her. There's off the smile.
I have always hoped to hear you speak your mind, Cass, and I am glad to have heard your true thoughts. Styxia. I visited that place in the past. Though it is now an island surrounded by the river of Souls Torrents, it's not hard to see its former splendor. Go. I will not stand in your way. As for you, you are someone who has cheated death. I believe you have more than enough reason to make the trip with Castorus and meet the god of death himself. Castorus, I too look forward to your journey. I wonder what kinds of new interpretations your completed story will bring to the Dream Chase journey.
Thank you, Lady Aglaya.
I hate to put a damper on this heartwarming moment, but if Styxia is now an island surrounded by the river of Souls Torrents, then how do we find a way in? Lady Tribbie is probably
unable to create a sentry
The
gate.
answer is quite simple. In the Mins, Zagreus once made the domain of the dead their treasure vault. That is to say, they could enter and leave the Netherrealm as they pleased.
Ooh. Zagreus mentioned. That means Cypher's not far
Then
behind.
it follows that the demigod who inherited their divinity must be capable of the same. I'll see you at Memorial Palace at Action Hour tomorrow. Cypher shall be your guide to finding that ancient city.
Oh, nice. Unfortunately, that'll have to be a later stream.
Downhung isn't back yet.
Alright, so if I go there, then I will start the story back. So I will go in the opposite direction. See you in a month. That's fair. We probably will stream more recently or more soon than that. I have actually been playing video games like pretty much every night. Though I've been playing Pokemon Unite because there's been an event in that game. I've been grinding to get the rewards, which is a cosmetic. But now that I have that cosmetic, I got it last night around 2 a.m. I can go back to playing this more. At some point in time, I do want to also carve out time for, you know, a game that has an end to it. Games like this will never end. We'll just see. Well, we built up all this cost on the team. Literally gained 3 more limited 5 stars. And haven't used it at all. I mean, I'll probably pull it out in Apocalyptic Shadow in, like, tomorrow. Hello? Teleport? Oh, okay, I had to do that. Let's see. I actually used Ratio to get this in 5 cycles before. Let's see how we do being off element. I'm unlikely to get the 12 out of 12 in pure fiction, although I did earn like 2,400 points with this team before. I could probably get above 3,000. I might get up to 2 stars with this team. I don't know about the second half, because like Genuine is still basically my main erudition character.
Opponent. Here, this thunder.
Serenity is before me. This mortal watch over you and guide you on your path.
Yeah, so far, nothing's different. Like, this is the same number of skill points I would have used.
Conflict is pitiless. Show no mercy.
Do I want to advance here? Or do I want to wait for her turn? It would put me in front of the guy. Let's use it here.
Stay put.
I can't thank you enough.
Here, this thunder.
Oops, still ran out of skill points. Should have basicked there. That's just me being bad.
Underestimating us will cost you.
Follow my charge. Conflict is pitiless.
I'll overcome the thorns. Torn into doubt, farewell.
Devil. I'll crush them all. Here, this thunder. Show no mercy. Get them.
I got a basic next time.
There's no time to lose.
Sunday got delayed because of what's it called?
This mortal watch over you and guide you on your path.
Wait, I think now we're good in terms of being skill point positive.
Conflict is pitiless.
Oh no, I don't think we'll ever be skill point positive.
Show no mercy.
Is it coming? I think we're the West Wind. Away we go!
Like, I think if we messed around with the speed a little bit, because like Tribbie basic attacks 2 times and then skills, and Huohua skills and then basic attacks 2 times.
Follow my charge. Here, this thunder. Fiends or devils. I'll crush them all.
Torn into doubt, farewell.
I think I should just also just ult as soon as I can.
Watch over you and guide you on your path.
Conflict is pitiless.
Should have waited for the summons.
this thunder!
Serenity is before me.
Conflict is pitiless!
I'll wait the AB, it's fine.
Was that it?
It's of no consequence.
Stay put!
I can't thank you enough.
Follow my charge. Here, this thunder!
I doubt farewell.
Alright, so I'm not down to 1 skill point now, but when I use this, it's gonna get me up to 2, right? Oh, wonderful. That's exactly what I need.
Show no mercy.
That was like the missing piece. Because that's actually the exact scenario where I would have to basic, because Tribbie's coming up and is going to need a skill point.
Conflict is pitiless!
You see how much damage it did to the True Sting there? Got to do this now? Let's do it now.
Is it coming?
Is that it? Fiends or devils?
Oh yeah, 500,000, but I was actually specifically talking about how it redistributed to True Sting. So I have to basic attack here again anyway. I think that I have a speed issue. I think I need to make Hua Hua like super fast if I really want to make things work out here.
Here, this thunder!
It's of no consequence.
It's coming. Are you gonna let slip? Away we go!
Get there! Conflict is pitiless!
Ideally we kill here and then yeah, the explosions happen in the second cycle. Then he resummons. Some goes there. That's perfect actually.
This mortal. Watch over you and guide you on your path. Torn to doubt farewell.
Here, this thunder!
We're like slowly gaining skill points.
Show no mercy!
That is rather nice. I do like the redistribution. So it looks like we're going to be 1 cycle slower than Ratio Cypher. For the same number of cycles, probably.
Fiends or devils? I'll crush them all! Conflict is pitiless!
I've heard the call. Serenity is before me.
There's no time to lose. Here, this thunder!
Are you gonna let slip? Away we go!
No, so close. Oh wait, actually we're still good because they're still in the cycle. So tied with the Ratio off element. And with plenty of stuff to spare too. No, actually cycle faster. Good.
High threat target ahead.
Luckily I'm not actually gonna do that. That's pretty good. gameplay was a little scuffed because it was my first time playing with the new power level. Although the only difference in rotations came from Sunday's light cone. That was pretty nice. As fast as my ratio costs as much as your whole team. Yeah, you probably like one-shot the bugs on the side. I think mine takes 2 turns to do that. I think that my team was Ratio, Sunday, Cypher, and Healer. I don't remember who actually I used as a sustain. Will it tell me what I did? No. I had to look it up on my phone because I don't have lineup assist elsewhere. All the same, pretty good, you know, being off element. That normally would be an 80% damage conversion instead of 100% damage. So 20% damage loss. It's not quite that because I have Tribbie. So instead of doing 120% damage, I'm actually doing 104% damage. Pretty good. We're also guaranteed the light cone today. And we got the E1. And I actually have to go through this in order to get the chalice rewards. Why am I watching a story about Hyacinth?
On the leaves. Is the girl?
We're gonna skip all of this because we'll eventually just go through the whole book at the end of the Amphoreus story arc. Unfortunately, I have to like actually skip through all of it.
When the so she never real.
Oh no, I don't want that. I want the new one.
That's this there and now in how when
If it's
the way
for
that
why?
out
Yeah, see how this one lit up, but the other one didn't? have to actively click through the story. I'm pretty sure if I just back out... Yeah, I thought so. You actually have to click through the story. It's crazy, we've only met half of the crew.
Born with it. Girl. Tis that it is.
Can't ever switch targets using my ratio though.
It is only.
Yeah, Cypher actually fixes that problem entirely. The whole board is 100% follow-ups. Is beautiful to witness. Because her light cone inflicts all enemies with 2 defense downs, and everyone on the field also has vulnerability. So that's already 3. And then the one that's being targeted with the patron is another debuff for the 4th one. Well, maybe that'll change soon. Like when we talk to Cypher next stream, and we'll finally met another half, or more than half of the crew. But that's gonna do it for now. It's a pretty big stream. It's kind of unfortunate that this was stream number 99. It would have been a really fitting stream for it to be stream number 100. But I guess that could be kind of like a cutoff, like old era, new era. So nothing special planned for the 100th stream. Or the 100th Star Rail stream, I should say. But even still, tune in for that one. Account review and showcase? Yeah, I could do that. I feel like I recently did that already, though. I'll see when the last time I did it was, and if it was far enough in the past, I'll do it. Or maybe because it's number 100, I'll do it anyway. It's like not like anyone's watching these in order. I didn't even put them in a playlist. So keep an eye out for streams throughout the week. Means if you enjoy the stream, leave a like. If you want to see more from me, be sure to subscribe. First time spending. Time actually going through the story. I don't even know what I would spend on. Like, I think that spending on polls is kind of a scam. Because the conversion rate is so ridiculously high. And spending on anything else, the battle pass is like the closest thing to being reasonable, but the only thing that's worth it in there is the light cone shards, and you have to go for 4 whole patches before you can even get 1 light cone. So like at this point I don't need materials, and that's the other reason why you would get the battle pass, is to get more materials. Truly first spending time actually going through the story and not just talking and pulling and whatnot. Exploring every corner of the map. I feel like it wouldn't be a Stormy stream if I didn't like go through every single corner of the map and get every treasure chest before advancing the story. At this point next year you could have 2 whole light cones. Yeah, just like a whole year to get 2 light cones. By then will have buffed Seela and given her a rerun. It's now possible. They're rerunning Blade. They messed up. Like, now I know that even if they're in the 50-50 loss pool, there's a chance that they rerun. Also, in a year's time, they likely will have run some new hunt character that has a light cone that just so happens to be slightly better for Zila than the Herta Store light cone. They've already done it with Saber's light cone, or I mean, not Saber, but Archer's light cone. So it's over. They had a slight chance, and then they blew it by buffing Blade too soon and giving him a rerun. Now I know that I can outweight them because I have practically infinite patience when it comes to waiting for Zila upgrades. Alright, if I talk for 4 more minutes, it'll be 1 a.m. and I don't want to get that far. So we're going to sign off here. I already did my outro, so I'll just swap over. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care and goodbye.